It's been less than 24 hours. I mean, what a day yesterday. What a ride that was. Less than 24 hours, and the smoke is still clearing from that Russell Wilson to Denver trade. Now, first things first, this is not the biggest trade of all time. I mean, no doubt, an enormous trade. But if you're trying to call it the biggest trade ever, go back, look up the Herschel Walker deal. Nothing is bigger than that. But it's still a major, major trade. Anytime you've got a Hall of Fame quarterback moving from one team to another, it's a major move. Anytime you have one team saying, we're going to make a run at a ring, and the other saying, we're just going to blow this damn thing up, it's a major move. And I'll say it again, I've been saying it for months. Either you have a quarterback or you don't. And if you don't, you better get one. Because without a quarterback, a legitimate quarterback, nothing else in that league matters. Nothing. And nobody has proven my point more so than the Denver Broncos just did. They've got a talented defense. They've got weapons in the backfield and at wide receiver. They're not bad up front. Yet they've gone 5 years without a winning record, and they still have not made the postseason since the Duck Slinger retired. So what have they gone with since then? Brock Osweiler, Trevor Siemian, Paxton Lynch, Brock Osweiler again, Case Keenum, Joe Flacco, Drew Lock, Brandon Allen, Jeff Driscoll, Brett Rippon, that wide receiver, Teddy Bridgewater, Drew Lock again. Since Manning retired, they have tied for the most quarterbacks in the league, and every last one of them has been terrible. So they had to make this move for Russ Wilson. They had to. Now, I don't know how much of a chance they ever actually had with Aaron Rodgers, but if they were not going to get him, they had to make the move for Russell Wilson. And I don't care what they had to give up to get this guy. They had to do it. I mean, not look hard at it, not try your very best to make something happen only to fall short. They had to close the deal. They had to execute it. They had to get it done. And no price was too big. Ask the Rams how allegedly overpaying for a quarterback worked out for them. Drew Lock, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, couple of firsts, couple of seconds, and a fifth for Wilson and a fourth-round pick. Hell yes, you make that deal. You have to make that deal. Oh, and spare a thought for Fant, who probably saw the tweets about Russell Wilson going to Denver and got all hyped up. This guy had to be like, hell yes. Hell yes. After years of playing with crappy quarterbacks like Drew Lock, I am finally going to play with the real dude. Only to find out he is going to Seattle with a crappy quarterback like Drew Lock. Man, what a kick in the package for Fant. Man, what a huge swing for Denver. Because Denver, to me, is in fact a quarterback away. And Wilson can still be that quarterback. Now, there's no guarantee that you're going to win a Super Bowl or even get to a Super Bowl with Russ. But I can guarantee you ain't getting there with Drew Lock. You're going to tell me that you're going to try to beat Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert and even Derek Carr with Drew Lock. Get the hell out of here with that. Kansas City has beaten Denver 13 straight times. Let me repeat that. Kansas City has beaten Denver, a divisional rival, 13 straight times. That's supposed to be a divisional rival, and they punk you every single time they play you. So hell yes, you had to do something. Either get a quarterback or get the hell out the business. Denver did the former. Denver's got a quarterback, and now Denver has a chance. So what are they getting with Russ? Yes, Wilson was banged up last year. Yes, he actually did miss time for the first time in his career. Maybe you're a little concerned about that. But even in his worst year, he is still better than anybody that Denver has had in years. His worst is still better than Lock's best every damn day. Wilson did have a down year last year, but he still managed to throw for 26 touchdowns. No Broncos quarterback has thrown for more than 18 TDs since 18 retired. And yes, you're going to have to pay Wilson eventually, but let's be real. As I just said a moment ago, they get to pay Wilson. If you get a franchise quarterback, you should be hitting your knees every single night, happy about the fact that you have the chance to pay them. Would you rather get to pay Russell Wilson or have to pay Drew Lock? And then there's the Seattle side of things, right? Because it wasn't just that they moved Wilson yesterday. They then chased that by releasing Bobby Wagner as well. So 2 Gold Jackets walk out that door on the same day. Good run. Had a good run, but it's over. Russ is gone. The Legion of Boom is officially now the Legion of Whom. Trading Wilson and releasing Wagner in a matter of hours is not just rebuilding. That's packing that joint with C4 and hitting the detonator. Give me my detonators. Unless they have something up their sleeve and or a way to get Deshaun Watson, that's a massive statement and a massive realization about where that franchise is right now. Like they finally woke up to the fact that the league had blown by them years ago and that they had to move Wilson because that bridge had been burned. The trust was gone for a while now. I mean, we can debate how or why that happened, whether it was about the offensive line or the offensive scheme or his relationship with Peter, which used to be so good, or all of the above. But none of it matters, really. It doesn't matter how it happened or why it happened, only that it did happen. The rest of that is just window dressing. The truth is, that relationship was dead. Even if the gum chewer said like 5 minutes ago they were not going to trade Russ, and then they did. But the fact is, Russ wanted out last year. And he still wanted out this year. And then once he was gone, once they no longer had that quarterback, they knew they were not going to contend unless, of course, they've got Deshaun Watson somehow up their sleeve. But probably not. So you may as well get rid of Wagner while you're at it. Now, did they get the best deal they could? This is a fair question. I think Denver did great. Denver, to me, did great. But how did Seattle do? How did Seattle do, and could they have done better? Apparently they could have. According to reports, Washington offered them 3 firsts. But Seattle wanted to get Russ the hell out the NFC. They wanted to send him to the AFC. I don't know. Doing the math, I would argue that 3 firsts is better than 2 firsts. Seems to me. But then again, given what Seattle has done with their first-round picks, maybe it really doesn't matter. Maybe more is not better, given what they've done with their picks. And now that they've gotten 2 more first-round picks, exactly what are they going to do with them? And let's be real about this, too. In terms of those 2 first picks, those are just making up for the ones that they gave away when they got Jamal Adams. And how does that deal look right about now? So in a way, this trade is chasing that trade. This trade is trying to make up for that trade. So all you really did was make a trade to make up for an earlier horrible trade, and you lose your Hall of Fame quarterback. So how is any of that good for Seattle? How does that make Seattle better? And how is any of that teardown good for a 71-year-old, fast-talking, gum murderer in Peter Carroll? Answer, it's not. So the hell is Seattle going to do about finding another quarterback? Are they going to take that run at Deshaun Watson? And would they really let Russ go without having another one in mind? They better, because once again, in this league, you either have one or you don't. Denver's got one now, and now Seattle doesn't. And for the first time in a long time, the Seahawks really, really do not matter at all.
Seattle.
Hey, Seattle, we don't have a deal, and I'll see you all never again. Hey, Seattle. Hey, Denver, time to cook. So I do love that for Denver and Seattle. Have fun with that. Going to be really interesting. Of course, Russ enters into the meat grinder that is the AFC West. Man, what a quarterback division that is. That's going to be a blast.